So this part two, Black Girl Magic got us chiefing with the chief once again. So much love to the Black Girl Magic wherever you find yourself. Afros up, feathers up. Um, I was the last one I talked to the fellas. So this one, fellas, y'all can restrain because I'm gonna talk to the sisters on this one, on part two. Um, well, we just trying to get an understanding of the mechanics of the culture. That's all we doing. I ain't know what I was gonna be talking about. So she keep asking me for real media. The last name Moore is a first of instance. The Moore as a name or a nationality is a catch term. It's used to blend tribes together that don't know who they are. That's all it's for. So when you see the name Moor, Moor, you was talking about Moors from Europe. When you see the word Moore, then that's because it's the emphasis on the A at the end of more, of moray, right? So this is the way you tell them apart. But we remember we amalgamated with them, and they thought that we still wasn't gonna be able to remember who we was, right? So the names could be replaced too, because with the paper genocide came a lot of changing the names. If you look up Cox, y'all were chicken farmers and cow farmers. They actually named Cox powder after the clan who would they had to consult to go get it. So we gonna chief around with some sisters and get some of this divine energy from the feminine in here. Hey, hey,
Hey,
beloved, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Tell the clan where you chiming
Look,
in from.
Chicago, Crystal.
Dot
Hey,
town in
y'all.
the house. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, back again from the city of Wind.
Yeah. Look, I wanted to
Afro,
tap in.
Black Girl Magic. Go on, say what you gonna say, girl.
That's why I wanted to tap in because you like froze up, feathers up, froze up, and I'm like, look, I got my fro. Let me tap in real quick. See
Yeah,
what's to it. It's
y'all
a
be
lot going
already on the
on and
frequency.
already. I wanted to say
Yeah.
something too because I know, we get into getting the family together. And I know a lot of sisters are feeling like a little resistance because of the family drama and trauma. But I just want to say, like, just do that shit, y'all. Just forget about what happened yesterday and just go on today and just move forward. Act
Mm-hmm.
like whatever happened didn't happen.
Fake it till you
If it
make it.
didn't kill you, your ass here to keep going. Let that shit go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really talking to myself too, as far as my blood sister. We came out the same vagina. We could let that shit go. I don't give a fuck about nothing. None of the pain. We gotta do this shit.
Well,
It's easy.
as long as it ain't no predators in the family.
Oh no, now those
Right.
motherfuckers we gonna
Just,
drag out and they
but
getting
just,
their ass whooped.
yeah, it's up to the
That's why I
family.
called a family meeting.
Yeah, so y'all know if you got one in the family gonna know who they is for long.
Absolutely.
But
And
other than that, all of the rest of what you said is valid.
absolutely.
You know, I
And
don't look the stuff for the ladies. Y'all, because she had your skirt on in high school, that she not your enemy. She that she borrows your skirt
right.
without asking. You know,
She slept with your baby daddy, all of that.
all that
Forget
shit.
about it. Fuck all that shit. All of it was a distraction, a trick.
Yeah,
Move forward. It's gonna be okay.
yeah. But love is the conqueror.
Oh yeah.
All you got to do is remember. No, even if you can't get along with the other adults, don't interfere with the relationship of the children between themselves.
Absolutely.
Because in my family, like I keep in contact with the people in my age group. I can call my daughter, and she could tell me what's going on with any one of her cousins anywhere in the country, right? But she ain't gonna tell me. But she can, but she ain't gonna tell me because she
Mm.
know that they got their code, and we taught
Right.
them their code, right? So they follow that shit. They talk among each other. The only time they involve the elders, the parents and the grandparents, is when it's some shit that's about to go down that's bad, and they have to. But for the rest of like their personal shit, they keep that among themselves. They got their own about 40 motherfuckers in the family chat for their age group. You know, they
Yeah,
keep track of each other.
that's good.
Mm-hmm. But that's
I like
because of the
that.
work my aunties and my mama and them put in as we was growing up, right?
That good family structure.
Yeah, because I can go anywhere in the country and one in my family house and I'm welcome there.
Right.
I don't got no family that's going to say, oh, no, that nigga can't stay here. I don't
Right.
give a fuck
Right.
what he do, but he can't come here. I don't have that. That's
Right.
not my experience, right? And even the bad experiences I had with our family members, we wiped that shit up within the motherfucking month. We don't.
Exactly.
We ain't let that shit carry on no 10, 20 years. Cause I tell all my cousins, I say I don't give a fuck what we fight about, motherfucker. When we over ain't so and so house, we ain't doing none of that dumb shit.
Right. None of that.
None of that. And they be
Just like
like,
my
we all with it. We fight. Me and my cousins, we fought growing up. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, turned to each other
hmm
spit red and shit. But you know what? They can come to my house and I can go to theirs, and we ain't gonna have no arguments as adults.
right. And look, my mom had 5 of us, right? My brothers just had a fight last week, scuffed each other up on some. But my birthday was the other day. Best believe we was all over here in my room kicking it like nothing happened. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah. Now here go
we
the
gonna
kicker.
fight
Let somebody come fuck with one of them. They gonna both be over there on that head.
over with.
Mm-hmm.
I done did that before. Fought my sister. She got into it, and I'm like, oh hell no, ain't nobody gonna whoop her ass but me.
Yeah. Ain't nobody putting their hands on my siblings but me. Now I believe that my brothers got they all right. They can handle themselves as long as
Yeah,
ain't nobody trying to jump them. You know, they do like me, scrap. We into
right.
that shit. You know, but you know, Mama said
Yeah,
don't let nobody take nothing from your brothers and sisters, and don't let nobody bully them. I said yes, ma'am. And she ain't got to tell me no more. But she used to tell me a
absolutely.
lot, but she didn't have to tell me. When she told me the first time, I got it.
Yeah, yep. And my mom, she definitely came through because I was on some resistant shit, holding some shit over my head, having a chip on my shoulder. And she just popped up from out of town for my birthday, and everything just came together. And, that was Big Mama all day
Mm-hmm.
coming
Look,
through.
the shit now is starting to move so fast. I'm starting to get butterflies. I feel like Michael Jackson. You give me butterflies.
Butterflies inside, inside. Yeah, definitely. The chills. Hey, I get chills every time I hear that song. So yeah, it's just so much. I can't keep up, but I'm just in bliss.
That's it. We're trying to get everybody to feel that old Shun energy,
Yeah.
just waiting to come back in. Soon as what? Soon as the bookman do adjourn that conjure,
hmm
watch how everybody be feeling like you feeling.
Man,
It's gonna
and I
be
was
everywhere. That shit gonna be like contagious. Everybody gonna be
yeah.
waking up all giddy. Motherfucker hate to go to work, gonna be skipping to work, talking about why am I so happy to go to work? I don't even fucking know, but it's just so beautiful to be able to. This
you
motherfucker
know,
gonna see shit different than a motherfucker. Cause we ain't
man,
gonna be in war no more. We gonna be at peace.
And I'm looking forward to that. And it's crazy you just said that, because I was just thinking earlier, like, okay, how can I help people get to that? Because I stress myself out trying to do that. And, you know, I do
Yeah,
it naturally, but
but
I be trying to
listen,
master it.
this is the keys right here. Be you, feel that way. It's contagious if you don't worry about if somebody feel it. If you try to force it, then you block it from being contagious.
Mm,
So just be, feel that shit. And when you be around people, it radiates. All
yeah.
it is a mitochondrial link.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Mama turning up the highest, the first family now. And that's why y'all feeling that shit now. Starting to get giddy and happy and shit.
Yeah.
It ain't even turned all the way up yet.
Nope. And I just thought about something. Okay, this just got placed on me. My daughter does this, and she get it from me. It's the same thing. It's you said that too to this little girl one day on here. You know that light, your glow inside your star. Like I could do that all day. Like, and that's why I want to tell the adults now. Like, don't y'all remember when you were little and you just get excited and just for no reason you be like, "Ee!" That shit right there. Like I could do that shit out of nowhere. My daughter does that, all my children, and it's beautiful. That's how you tap in. Like whenever you feel that and you know like ain't shit going on and you just feel it, man,
I'm
feel it
I'm
and
gonna tell these
do
adults
anything with that
specifically,
energy.
when you feel like you've been having like a bad couple of days in a row, stop everything you're doing and go find a pack of kids and read them a book, sing them a song or something. I guarantee
Mm.
you that energy by the time you get done will be transmuted to a higher energy frequency.
Yes.
The baby's gonna do it to you.
Yeah. Yes.
When you give them from the heart and they give it back, you can't help it. You can't help
Yeah,
it. Lil Zoe gave
man.
me a thumbs up, almost caught the Holy Ghost.
That'd be beautiful. I love that shit, man. And that's why I be telling people they don't be understanding. I be like, man, I'm glad I had children. I had my first baby when I was 17. Like, if I didn't have children, my children saved a lot of lives. Like,
Oh,
they saved my life. Children saves lives.
I don't think if I think my life would have been different if I would have went to prison with no children because I'd have been a bitter motherfucker through the whole bit, and I probably wouldn't have been as cordial to get along with.
Mm,
But I had my children to look forward to spending time with when I came home.
yeah. That's another reason why it was easy for me to quit my job.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Fuck a
when my
job.
children started saying, like, Mommy, we barely see you, I broke down, started crying, like, fuck this post office, man. I don't give a fuck what happened. Like, I'm steady getting sick. Like, I was going against the grain, getting my ass kicked. And that was the final straw when they was like, Mommy, we don't see you. And I'm like, oh, hell no.
Hey, you know all this time they've been teaching the children the hokey pokey, right?
Mm,
It's a conjure. It's a children's conjure to the hokey pokey, the steps of it is all telling the children to take part in the mass magic performance.
I
That's why they
told my
took back.
siblings this.
I put my arm in, put my arm out, right?
You shake it
They,
all about.
yeah. When they're shaking it all about, they supposed to be visualizing pixie dust coming off their hands. Yeah. They activating magic. You teaching it to them, right? You don't know.
Mm,
You don't know it's magic. It's children's magic,
right.
and
Now,
it's a couple more of the children. They start coming up with their own when the adults didn't know the hokey pokey was harnessing their magic. Remember when Superboy dropped Superman?
yeah.
The children started using it for conjure.
Hmm.
When the other one,
That makes sense.
it's them songs that little kids make for them to dance to. Any of
I
those
was.
songs, listen, any song designed by children for other children to dance to, those are baby children magic practice. The adult that knows the conjure can
Mhm.
unlock that energy in the children and turn that love energy up in them, using those things as the vehicle by which you turn that energy up, right? So in Detroit, we be having, like my man said earlier, we Jit City, Jit City in this month, right? But when we be
Mhm.
in Chicago, we be stepping in the name of love. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
that's what R. Kelly was singing. He still thought he was 8 years old. The dumbass nigga didn't know he was damn near 40.
Yeah.
He don't know. He just
Mhm.
think he a kid making music,
Right.
right? He Rain Man. So he still can tap that magic.
Right.
It's hard when they have that kind of power to teach them how to grow up. And if they
Mhm.
don't have a man around them to teach them how to grow up, they won't never grow up in certain areas, and it'll make them susceptible, like R. Kelly, to being fed children and not being able to know the difference in a 25-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Mm.
Socially retarded, right? But he's a musical
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah. They
And
just played on
yeah,
him.
so but that children's magic is in that those they got tired of the adults not using it. If you look at all of the children
Mhm.
that used to follow those dance steps, they're not like the other children.
No.
They the children that'll go out and get a job, they'll work, they won't ask for a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They trying to use their personal power,
Mhm.
right? Whereas the children's right in the generation before that shit, less likely to want to work, they less likely to want to use their personal power. You can see the transition that was taking place through the culture and the music. That's a
Yep.
beautiful thing to see.
It is.
Yeah. All right,
And
sweetie,
it's
I'm gonna let
funny.
you drop down. I'm gonna take another one in. I don't know how long I
Okay,
got.
I was just singing Miss Mary Mac the other day. That used to be my shit when I was little.
Oh yeah, Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black,
And
black,
black,
black.
black, black with silver buttons. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later. Love you.
All
Bye.
right, sweetie.
All right.
Deloria, Deloria.
Hello, Rod.
What's going on, sweetie? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Where you chiming in from?
So I'm actually in Georgia right now, but I'm actually from Peoria, Illinois. So I don't know if you're familiar with that place,
I
that
know where
area.
Peoria at.
Okay, perfect. So actually, I'm chiming in, because I had a question. I had a dream that's kind of been like bothering me a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of
When you
want.
say bothering you, what do you mean? Like you can't get it off your mind or making you feel spooky?
I can't understand it. I mean, I feel like I should be able to understand it, but I can't get it off my mind, and I'm trying to understand it.
Okay.
Um,
Now, when the
mhm,
dreams stay on your mind, it's the difference in the dream that bother you and the
okay,
dream that stay on your mind. The
okay,
dream that bother you is a warning. The dream that stay on your mind, it's gonna stay on your mind because you're trying to figure out what the meaning of the dream is. So there's
exactly.
a difference. That's why I asked the question.
Okay,
So tell
yeah,
me the dream. Take it from the top. Tell me the dream, and let's see what we come up with.
okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm on this ship, and I know it's in outer space because I'm working in a lab, and there's a window, and outside the window I can see the stars. I can see outer space. And so on this conveyor belt, I'm in like a lab. I have like a lab partner, and on this conveyor belt we have these clay molds of babies, and basically our job is to put the life inside of the baby. So when we do it, the babies instantly turn brown. Like that's the first sign of they're alive. And then we wait for
Okay,
them to
you can stop
uh-huh.
right there. That's not a dream. That's why it's bothering you. That
Oh,
was actually happening in the development of the earth when the sisters decided um, that they would let earth be inhabitable. That's what y'all was doing when y'all was creating the human. And spiritually,
mhm.
you was going back to the spiritual nexus of the location where y'all was doing it because you was one of the doulas that was overseeing the project.
Okay. So, but here's the part that I don't understand. So you're right. That for some reason that part felt natural, but the part that's on my mind is that as we're doing this, I got another baby clay mold, and when I put the life into it, the color never changed. It stayed white, but the baby woke up and was alive. And I just remember thinking like we both kind of looked at each other like that's not right, but we let it go through because it was alive. But that's the part that
That's
I can't get.
actually that was the actual response when they created um, the artificial humans, the artificial souls they couldn't ascend. That's why they
Hmm.
didn't turn brown, and that's what made the wolves, all of the guardian wolf spirits of the earth converged in Europe. And this is how we discovered the anomaly because they was never supposed to go through that cycle where y'all
Yeah.
could see them. So after y'all seen a certain amount of them, y'all called the Queen of Heaven and Earth and explained to her that there's an anomaly going on, and y'all didn't have an answer for it because somebody's doing something on Earth. Y'all can
Oh, okay.
so you going back in the spirit realm where you
Mhm.
transfer souls into forms, into bodies.
Mhm.
And so once this was discovered, she called for the guardians, the earth guardians, because they was being reported that the earth guardians wasn't on their post, which is they wolf spirits, but they personify as giant fucking wolves when a
Mhm.
crisis is taking place on earth. So
Okay.
this is why you have the story of Romulus and Remus suckling from the she-wolf, right? They said
Mhm.
that Remus got murdered and Romulus became the founder of Rome, or maybe it's backwards, but
Mhm.
because I always get them mixed up. But anyway, so this is why that story is in the historical record. So when the in Kemet, we was doing the cyclic repeat of the holy drama.
Mhm.
And so the Queen of Heaven and Earth was stationed at that time in Egypt. So when they found the wolves, they was guarding the cave. And when they went in the cave, they discovered a bunch of malformed beings in there, but they didn't know they was malformed. They just didn't know what the fuck they was.
Right. Okay.
So
That
they
makes a lot
took
of
them
sense.
back to Egypt to present one to the Queen of Heaven and Earth. And when she seen it, she said, "What manner of beast is this?" And none of the scientists knew what the fuck they was looking at. And it's, birth defects,
Right.
right? But they were sentient, but they can't ascend in that condition because the
Okay.
soul can't expand to its proper development when the body that is being used to train the soul is malformed, right?
Mhm.
So we begin to see birth defects for the first time, and this is what told us what was being done on Mount Sinai,
Mm. Okay.
right?
I.
So
Mhm.
it's more to it. I went through all that on the video series when Young Elder.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I,
So she
mhm.
ordered that every the good got to punish with the bad because you can't throw people away like trash.
Right. Right.
And you gonna be treated, the people you mistreat gonna be the same motherfuckers mistreat you.
Exactly.
And because you so high and mighty, somebody got to bring you down and show you that it's so, no matter how big and bad your ass is, Big Mama got a remedy for all you motherfuckers.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's how we end up in this condition to this day. This is the end of it. And that's why
My
my
God.
mama say, I'm so glad trouble don't last always.
Mm-hmm.
We was in fucking trouble.
Yep.
We got in trouble with the Queen of Heaven and Earth because we let these motherfuckers come down here and do something they ain't got. So she whooped our ass.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting my ass whooped. Definitely.
No, it's time, ass whooping time over with. That's
Yeah.
over with now. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's time to celebrate the return of the Sweetwater.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
I told you
I'm
we
ready
about
for
to
this
have
stuff to
Mardi
come
Gras
off.
or every major city. Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. They talking that doomsday shit.
Mm-mm.
Fuck, that's just some scare tactics to slow your progress down. We about to have Mardi Gras from
Yeah.
Maine to Arizona, from Alaska to Florida, from motherfucking the Canadian North of Nova Scotia to the bottom of Argentina. We finna turn up on these motherfuckers.
Hey, so my next question, real quick, and then I'm gonna let you go. But my last name is Artist, Artis. I'm guessing that's a Canadian French name, more Canadian on the
That's a
more likely.
profession.
Oh, really?
Your name is so somebody in your family established your last name because
Mm-hmm.
they was an artist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right now, what kind of artist depends on. You can look at your family and you can see what y'all have a penchant for doing.
Yeah.
Right, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you got singers in the family, or you got painters in the family, or instrument players in the family. But when you got the name artist as a
Mm-hmm.
clan name, they all got different art forms that could be associated with the clan.
Okay, because I got 13 brothers and sisters, and I'm probably the only one that is not an artist. Every one of them, they all have a specialty like a art, like you're saying. But I don't know. I just figured that it was more like a French. But okay,
How many
all right.
children you
That
got?
I don't have any kids. I don't have none.
Because you might be this is the craziest shit. Y'all women do this shit, but you might not want to express your artistic talents with the world right now. You might be saving it so that you can use it to develop the artistic talent in your child. As they see yours develop, they'll follow the suit. So you could
Hmm.
be just waiting to be a mother in order to turn that on.
That you might be right, 100%. You
Hmm.
might be right. Yeah. Okay.
Look here. Watch what I pee.
Mhm.
You see it?
You a doula, yeah. I thought about that. I wanted to be a nurse. I actually like children, but I just don't have any. So I mean that makes a lot of sense. Okay. That makes a whole lot of sense. Okay.
Right. Because that
A
came
lot
up
of
earlier in the
sense.
conversation we having um,
Mhm.
related to what you was doing in the spirit realm.
Mhm. Okay.
So it would make perfect sense that if you had a drive or the traction to be in
Mhm.
the doula, you would probably be one of the best ones. Right.
Mm. Right.
So, like, I wanted to be a doctor, but when I caught
You're
my felony, I couldn't be an MD, so I turned into a witch doctor. It's a
okay.
will, it's a way.
You're
That's what my
right.
mama told me.
100%.
I
You
told my
know.
mama, I said, Mama, I couldn't be a doctor and like my cousin Calvin because we supposed to went to med school together.
Mhm.
But I had C's and D's anyway. I had grandiose delusions at the time because I wasn't finna get in nobody's medical school with C's and D's. But that was our thing. We were both gonna be doctors.
Mhm. And you
So he
know.
went on to be an MD.
Mhm.
So I couldn't be an MD. So what the fuck? What kind of doctor can I be? And then I looked at my family line and I was like, shit, I'm gonna be a witch doctor.
But you know what? I when I first started going to school, I wanted to go to school for a nurse, but I just could not do the school. I just couldn't do the classes. It's just something that I just couldn't. I had to take all these other extra classes. It just didn't fit. And so I never completed school for that. But that was something that I always wanted to be, was a nurse. But um yeah, that was.
So the way that we
Mhm.
teach in the doula center is not going to be like the university.
Mhm.
As a doula, you got a wide breadth of knowledge you have to assimilate. But
Mhm.
when you first come in, we don't drop every fucking piece of information you need on you. You're not gonna realize until you get to a certain point that goddamn, I went through all that in that short period of time.
Mhm. Yep.
But doulas are taught hands on by doulas.
Exactly. And
Taught
that's how I
hands.
learned. Yep.
You start
Mhm.
off, you might have to be the one that fold her towels and watch.
Mhm.
Go get the water while she doing whatever she doing. But she's instructing you and showing you the intricacies of being a doula,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The birth maidens is what they used to be called in ancient times, using the English language as a translation, right? They
Okay.
was
Mhm.
referred to as birth maidens, would be the English equivalent.
Mhm.
And most of their life, because you learn, the doula doesn't stop assisting the mother until the child go off to their rites of passage. So we talking in modern terms, not until they enrolled in real school, kindergarten and preschool, the doula still assessing the child.
Mhm.
When a doula finally give her final report, she's telling the mother, your child has a drive to do this, so you should put this in their path to make sure they learn so they can strive for their best life according to these parameters. They study the child. Childhood psychologists was doulas,
Mhm.
and they got so many things that they are responsible for, but because it's the way that it's taught and the way that it's assimilated, it doesn't seem like you doing nothing but being a good ass auntie that just know a lot of shit.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I got one more thing. Like the way you just said that. Okay, so when I first moved to Georgia, I stayed with my sister, and she had two little girls that were very young. And my sister was so mean. She would say some of the worst things, like, call them bitches, saying you're not gonna ever be nothing. Um, I wish I would have aborted you. And so I'm hearing all these things with my own ears. And so, I'm trying to talk to them. I'm trying to talk, like that's not true, whatever she's saying. I'm really there for them. And it got so bad to a point where nothing that I would say, like it's just, I know that's their mom, but it was just like nothing that I would say or do will overwrite what she's done to them. And so I just kind of like gave up and moved out once they got a certain age. Once they got old enough, I moved out and moved on my own because I just felt like there was nothing else I could really do. Because nothing was sticking. Like I said, it's almost kind of like everything that she said, it just kind of overwrote any type of positivity that you would try to breathe into them.
You'd be
And
surprised. So the way that the children they might come off with the mother's imprint as a primary, but if you still giving them love, when it come
Mhm.
time to trust somebody, they're gonna come to you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They tell
Right.
me everything.
So the problem is your sister is the one need the help.
Yeah, I think she's beyond help. She's delusional at
No,
this point.
Mama said you don't give up on nobody until they gave up on themselves, and you
Okay.
don't know a person that haven't gave up on themselves.
Mhm.
They might just don't know how to get from under the stress.
That could be true.
She don't know how to cope with her stressors, so she takes it out on the children, the weaker people,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Mhm.
So the goal is to teach her to be more self-confident, and she'll be less mean to the children.
Okay.
She got low self-esteem. All of the
Mm-hmm.
things that she's doing to her children, it's the same as the people that cut themselves,
Yep.
right? It's
Trying
not
to
that
help.
she don't love her children, because she'll fuck somebody up about them,
Mm-hmm.
but she don't understand that she's fucking them up
Yeah.
by the way that she's interacting with them. Later on, when she wake up to what she's done to them,
Yeah.
the
She's gonna be.
remorse, she might not be able to overcome the remorse.
I don't think so, cause I mean, it's horrible. I would just. I don't know. I just never felt. I never thought a mother could ever treat their daughters like that, especially girls. You know. But
Hmm.
she, yeah. But yeah. But you know what? Thank you so much. That was all I had. I'll let you take another caller, but thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you said to me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming in, sweetie.
You're welcome. Okay.
Reciprocity of energy. So look, a lot of times, these mothers are not properly pair bonded. This is why doulas is so important. They're not properly pair bonded with the child, because instead of allowing the cycle of the oxytocin and endorphins to cycle through the child back through the umbilical cord, the psyche is told that the child is stillborn, and the mother is seeing the child and she's conflicted in her deep emotions and don't know what it is, so she becomes aggressively abusive to the child. But you fuck with that child, she'll fuck you up, but she doesn't understand that her pair bonding is off because she never had a doula before during pregnancy and in the formative years of adolescence, where the child is developing a personality. So she don't know how to properly connect with the child, and it comes out as abuse. All of this stuff is going to be corrected and treated, um, and the doulas is going to be more important than the psychs. Psychiatrists is only there to give you medications in order to numb whatever the psychological sensation that they call an abnormality, right? So they're not really there to heal you. The doulas is there to heal you. They don't want you to be miserable with your child. They want you to enjoy your child, and they want you to be properly pair bonded, because the mother that's properly pair bond with the child is a whole different person than the one that's traumatic, the trauma bonded to the child, right? Because it makes them take out negative emotions on the child because they are bonded through a trauma bond instead of a parental bond. And postpartum depression, as the sisters say right here, is a critical part or a critical symptom of improper pair bonding. The doulas know what to do. Every one of the sisters is watching. If you're pregnant, make sure that you have a doula or a certified midwife that um, that is familiar with child psychology, because they're gonna make sure that the mother is properly pair bond. They slap the child on the ass, trauma. The child cried, trauma to the mother. Then they cut the cord, double trauma. The baby, the placenta told the mother that there's been an obstruction and the baby is dead. But the mother looking at the child, her eyes is saying, I see the baby right there. But if they don't slap the baby, he has no trauma. Clear the airway, and then you post the baby on the mother's teeth. The baby's supposed to suckle until the placenta releases naturally, at which time the placenta is then either harvested, or some people leave the placenta on until it fall off. But it depends on the doula, which the doulas come in tribes too, right? So we got doulas that teach from a different learning style than a different doula, but they all have one thing in common. They want the mother properly pair bonded with the child so that the child can have proper mothering as it grows, because it changes the way the adults are made, and it changes the way that the adults behave. If we don't get a hold on this shit soon, we're gonna be producing more derelicts. We don't want that shit. They was doing that shit to be fodder for their prisons and their work camps. So I'm gonna take another sister, but that's an important issue that and the women need to be aware of.
Hey, peace, peace. How's it going?
Good, how you doing, sweetie? Tell them where you chiming in from.
From Arizona.
Arizona, goddamn it, all in the desert.
Yes. Yes, I was actually tapping in because my brother and I, we went camping Friday and we just came back today. But yesterday when we were out there, it was weird because like when we were sleeping in our tent and I was laying down, I kept hearing like this humming noise. And it just kept going for like the longest. And then like when I turned my head, then it stopped. And then it just kept going. And then like an hour later, I heard like it almost sounded like females in a hyena scream, and it was like sounded like 8 to 9, and it was like all together, and then it was like that for like 30 minutes, and then it stopped.
Mm-hmm. They sound like it was either jackals or foxes. They make those sounds.
Mm,
Sound like hyenas.
mm. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking like I was telling my brother, I was like, man, this whole life has been so powerful. Like even this one that you went on this morning, but the previous caller that was on here, she was mentioning about like nursing, and you mentioned about psychology, and I was telling my brother, I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because like right when I got out of high school, I went to school for psychology, and I couldn't understand. I didn't like the reading, so I just stopped doing psychology. And then I went to school and got licensed in massage therapy, and then I started to go to school for nursing. And then when they made it mandatory to get vaccinated, I was like, okay, no, I'm just gonna stop nursing. But it's like I always had a thing to be with children. I love being around children, and I was telling my brother like when if I went through the nursing program, I wanted to be in the war that was like with children and mothers.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things, there's going to be a lot of like women who couldn't have children, right? There's going to be a lot of them that's going to volunteer for some of these children taken with special needs taken from tunnels,
Mm,
right? Some of them, their eyes got fucked up from being kept in the dark their whole life, 8, 10 years.
mm,
You know, some of them have issues with their entrails from being abused, all kind of psychological issues from being abused. And the only thing that's going to overcome all that abuse is a whole lot of love.
mm. That's
That's just,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy you said
so
that because I actually gotten a procedure done in 2016, and I had to get my tooth removed, and then they told me I wasn't able to have kids naturally. I can only have kids
intravenous, I test tubes,
correct, but
in
they said
vitro fertilization.
yes, correct. They said the same thing to my mom too, and they said that she wasn't able to have kids, but she was able to have two. So, but during that process, like after learning that news, like it took me a couple years to understand that, and I was depressed through that time because it's like that's something that I've always wanted to have, to have kids naturally, and it's like I'm still trying to understand the process and all that, like saying that I'm able to have kids because I still feel like I'm still able to have kids because my mom was able to. But I don't know. It's just like kind of iffy. I
But
don't
your
know.
mother had the same surgery you had.
No, she didn't.
So your surgery is the issue, right? If they took your fallopian tubes.
Mm,
So in vitro fertilization will harvest your egg and match it with the sperm and put it in like that's how they do in vitro fertilization,
right.
right? And in that case, you might be extremely fertile,
Hmm.
right? A lot of times they put more than one fertilized egg in, and you have a multiple birth,
Mm,
right? So that's something that think about, but I will wait till after the medical system is revamped, because a lot of the things that they was doing is unconscionable to tell the people,
Right.
right? Like, it's a good chance that they didn't need to take your fallopian tubes. One of
Mm,
the things every woman need to know this: if your pH balance in your vagina is alkaline,
mm,
none of the stuff, cancer can't live there, venereal disease can't live there, can't function in an alkaline environment, right? And you
mm,
normally know when it's acidic because it has a scent that comes with it that the woman doesn't like herself,
right.
right? So this is why it's important to um, keep the yoni balanced, chemically balanced, by periodically they got yoni priestesses that teach vaginal health on a deeper level,
Mm.
right?
I remember you guys were talking about that in the live. I can't remember her name, but I started following her on your IG page. She was talking about it, the yoni and stuff. And this actually, yesterday or Saturday, I did some grounding when I was in the field. And when I got done grounding, I was telling my brother, I was like, man, my feet felt so much lighter, like
Mm,
getting done, like grounding, even though it was like 10 minutes, but my body felt different doing it afterwards.
yeah, because people be amazed that right now we are more sensitive to the energy in our bodies because the frequency is changing, and we are make it's more noticeable to us now than it would have been, say, in the 80s.
Mm,
Right, the ones in the 80s, you had to be an extreme tree hugger in order to be able to tap that energy. Now you don't have to be. You just have to be aware of Mother Earth's connection to you, and then ground yourself to her, and it automatically starts to aid in healing.
mm. Oh, and then another thing I found out. So when I was in massage school, we read this book about Chinese medicine, and it dealt with like the archetypes, like the earth, fire, water, and I learned that I was the earth type, but I'm not sure how to go upon with that.
When's your birthday?
April 28th, 93.
What's your zodiac sign? April. That's Aries,
Taurus.
Taurus. That's,
Yes.
yeah. So they send you an earthbender, basically.
Mm,
The earth sign are more stubborn, harder to handle, more determined. When they set their mind to something, it's harder to stop them,
mm,
right? Fixed energy. Taurus is notoriously stubborn, but notoriously stubborn with one of the best hearts you want to see. They give you
mm,
their last, right, if you don't ask them for it.
mm,
If you ask them for it, they might think you up to something. They don't give you shit. But if you
mm,
don't ask them for it, they'll see what you need and they'll give it to you on their own, and then they'll feel the satisfaction that they want to know they doing good.
mm,
Yeah. So to try to make a tourist do something, you're gonna make them not do it. The harder you try to make them do it, the less likely they is to do it. But
mm,
if you ask them nicely and say please, then get out their way so they can get the job done.
mm. That's so crazy you said that, because I feel like that's how I am with my job. So like I work on a military base. I was in the army, but I got out last year, but I worked there full time. And like I was telling my brother, I feel like they got so used to me when I was in the army, like them ordering me to do something, like yes, I'll do it. But now that I work on a state side, I'm just like, if that's not my job and you guys don't pay me to do it, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
that's crazy that you said that.
tourists all day long. You ain't paid me to do that. That ain't on my job description.
That's me every day. Every time my boss asks me to do something, I'm just like, he's not doing nothing. Why ain't you doing it yourself? Like,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
that
just want to
tourist shit.
appreciate you, Uncle Rod. I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit, but I'll let you go so you can take another caller.
Okay, sweetie. Thanks for chiming in.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Pretty good. Tell the people where you calling from.
I'm calling from Missouri, but I'm from Indiana.
Okay, well, I'm gonna show you with the bullseye.
Okay.
No, Indiana is the was the Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. So, how's everybody doing? Hi, Uncle. How are you?
I'm
Um,
good, sweetie. What's on your mind? I like your
okay.
dreads.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm calling in because um I went through a transition. A lot of people have. But when I went through the transition, I went through a couple of things. Um, so I was high one day
Me too.
and I was I was coming I was coming down and I was laying in the bed and all of a sudden like I like seen this. I call it a static man because it was shaped like a man. And it was
That's
right
called the
above
crooked man. That's Tookie.
it was right above my head and it was like I felt the wind. It was like being under a helicopter. Really hard winds. And I was like, what the I thought
When's your
I
birthday?
was June 6th, the most beautiful day of the year.
Goddamn Gemini shit there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so finish what you're saying.
So it was like black and gold. And it was when I looked up, I was actually looking up and it was like there. And I was like, am I fucking losing it? And yeah, it was like staticky. It was black and gold, and it was I thought it was a portal. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but it had winds and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like holding on to the bed. It was real though.
Did you ever
So
see that TV show Raising Dion when he called the Lightning Man?
yeah.
Yeah, that's Tookie.
Oh
That's what.
wow.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple.
Purple. They
I
do got
love
some.
teal too.
They got a crib set that wear a blue. Almost looks purple, but it's blue.
Mm.
Yeah. So ooh, that's a powerful set. Anyway, the Crooked Man is the personification of Big Tookie energy in the atmosphere. And they call it the Crooked Man or the Walking Lightning. When he come to you like that, he came to you with Big Mama colors. That's not his colors. Black and gold, not his colors. That's Big Mama colors, right? That means that he's coming to you from Big Mama house.
Wow. I was in my grandma's house too. So that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's he was coming to you from Big Mama house. You a high priestess. You're a high priestess of Skywalker.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Big Mama sent him. Like that's when I had my awakening too. It was in 2013, right at the beginning. My dad had just passed away, and all these phenomenons were happening in that house, in the bedroom. Like I unlocked myself in that bedroom. Like I was able to see myself out. So many things. And so when that happened, I was like, what in the hell is going on?
hmm So
Crazy.
when you get a knock from a high chief like that, it's because you got a high position or high rank in the tribe, right? So when Tukey coming from Big Mama house, you got to be a priestess. If he was a daddy's girl, he would have came to you in this blue. If he was a mama's girl, he came to you in red. You Big Mama's girl, he coming to you in black and gold but he's coming out of the blue house. So he's your daddy's grandmama that you're talking about, ain't it? I mean, your daddy's mama.
My dad's mom. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's why he
Yeah, my
came.
dad.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
She picked you. She picked you to.
Well, you know what? I've always known I was special. I thought it was my Leo moon that made me feel that way. But now you've confirmed what I'm telling people. My daughter's always like, Mom, you're always acting like you're the princess of the house or the queen of the like, okay.
Next time your daughters tell you that, say how you gonna learn how to be the princess or the queen if I don't show you a good example.
Hey,
Don't
that's
ever tell them that you is or that you ain't.
she knows.
Just just tell them that you setting an example so they can be one.
Exactly, exactly. She's amazing too. Um, Another thing, because I'm a prepper, like I have everything. So what I want to know is like what's the, in your opinion, like what is the chronological order of everything that's gonna happen? Like,
Oh, I don't do predictions, sweetie. I just read in real time what I see, and then I tell the people what I see.
gotcha. So you're not on some, there's going to be like,
I can tell you what ain't gonna happen. All that gloom and doom and death and destruct, that ain't gonna happen. Only
gotcha.
the only motherfuckers gonna be getting the business like that is the imposters, the frauds, and the fakes.
I hear you.
Right? They have to go, and some of them don't want to leave, and they ain't got no rank nowhere, and they don't want to leave. So we got something for their ass.
Period.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But for the most part, the biggest majority of them was happy to go because they
I'm
know
happy you said I'm
because
happy you said that too.
because I told them that we don't accept sacrifices on my watch. You can't sacrifice the righteous in order to redeem your wickedness. I don't do that. That's that Enlil shit. I don't do that. I'm the earthborn. Everybody get what they earn, good, bad, or indifferent, with no favor. Just get what you earn. If you get something extra, that's called a blessing. But you ain't gonna get shorted on your shit.
Period.
That's the way I believe that this is supposed to go. Give
Yeah.
everybody what's theirs. I want all of mine to get all of theirs. And then I'm coming for mine. Once all mine get all theirs, I'm coming for mine.
You're appreciated.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sweetie.
you. You have a good night.
You too.
Thank
All
you so much. All right. Peace.
right. I got 2 minutes on this call, y'all. I'm gonna grab me something to drink, and then I'm gonna come back in for one more session. Um, if y'all want to chime in, I'm gonna need about probably less than 5 minutes, and then we're gonna get back on because this is rolling real nice. I'm gonna mix it up on the next one, guys and girls. Part 3 coming up. Chiefing with the Chief.